All right, please welcome in Kenjon Barner, former Ducks running back, Super Bowl champ, fresh Super Bowl champ for the third time. Now with Tampa Bay. How's everything going, Kenjon? You're looking great. You got a Super Bowl smile on your face right now, I think.
The smile is a little brighter these days.
We're just talking
about, everything is.
Yeah, well, that's good, man. The radio audience, and God bless all you great people. Kenjon is wearing 2 of his 3 Super Bowl rings, and he's got the third coming from Tampa Bay. But we're just talking off air. Super Bowl 52, right? With Philly, Super Bowl 53 with the Patriots, and now Super Bowl 55 with Tampa, man. You've run 3 out of 4.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Steven Spielberg couldn't have wrote this script for my life, man. I couldn't tell you that I ever, different guys, you talk to different guys. I remember Steve Smith, my rookie year, used to talk to me because we were doing pretty good my rookie year, ended up in the playoffs. So you think this easy? And for me, I'm coming from college, I'm used to winning. Then we get to the first year in the NFL, we in the playoffs. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to answer the question. He's like, man, he said, this is the hardest thing you ever have to do. He said, some people never get here. He said, do you think it's easy to get to a Super Bowl? I was like, nah. He was like, exactly. He said, some people never sniff the playoffs, let alone a Super Bowl. So to be as fortunate and blessed as I have been over the last 3 out of 4 years, I'm just thankful.
Yeah, man. I hear you on that. Now, which ring did you give to your father?
The New England ring.
Yeah.
Gave him that one. Now I got one for my youngest son. And I got another one for my oldest. I need one more. I got to get one more, so I'll give one to my mama.
There you go. Goodness. Are you going to have one for yourself at some point, or you got some family member that's going to get one, right?
Yeah, I mean, my kids, obviously, Keelan and Kingston. Then my dad, that's been my biggest. My family have all been supportive, but, my dad in sports, that was my guy, that was my rock. My dad never missed a game, never missed a practice, never missed a game while I was in college. His first game he ever missed wasn't until I got to the NFL, and that's just because the distance was different, because if he could, I know he would. So my dad absolutely was going to get a ring, because I wouldn't be the player or the man that I am within this game if it wasn't for him.
I've never thought about this, Kenjon, but I hear of players giving rings to whoever, family members. Did they ever get them fitted for a family member? Because I always thought it'd be fitted for them and they'd give it away at that point.
Yeah, my New England ring is fitted for my dad. I don't think he had a clue. I don't think he didn't have a clue why I was asking for his ring size. So, but yeah, so when I say I gave it to him, this is his. It's fitted for his fingers. It's his ring.
Wow, man, that's awesome. Yeah. Were you there for the boat celebration the other day with Tampa?
Absolutely, man. Let me tell you, what a time. In the words of Drake, what a time to be alive.
Well, how would you describe it for anyone who wasn't there? What would your description be?
So I think for every player it's going to be different. But for me, water is like my getaway. Water is like my safe haven. I love the water. If I could spend every day on the water, I would. So to be on the water, on a yacht, celebrating the Super Bowl, man, that feeling is kind of indescribable. It's euphoric. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're looking around, everybody on jet skis, on boats. Everybody's happy. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's drinking, having a great time. Music is playing. It's a celebration. And we celebrate.
Absolutely you did. You had Tom Brady joking about avocado tequila. Looked like he was indulging. Gronk, of course, is going Gronk there. Like, were you there for the Lombardi toss? Were you close by for that?
No, and I think my heart would have dropped had you just see the Lombardi trophy flying through the air. But then, it's in all-state hands. Always in good hands when you got Gronk.
Yeah. No doubt, man. It's crazy, man. Like, just the season in general, without the typical amount of fans, with a boat celebration, like, it has to be just surreal to have a season like that, I would imagine.
This season, for me personally, like I said, everybody's story is going to be different. But for me personally, this season will probably go down as one of the greatest seasons of my career, not just how it ended and how we capped it off, but just the journey. of what it took to get to that point, what, the stages and steps that I had to go through, the trials that I had to walk through to get to. But then everybody faced different dilemmas, being away from your families, not being able to live your normal life. Essentially we weren't in an NBA bubble, but we were in a bubble. Guys are used to going out, eating, hanging out, being with their families. Couldn't do it. You had family come in town. They couldn't stay with you for a number of days. They had to get tested, just a whole bunch of stuff that you wouldn't normally do. So as a league, there was a lot of sacrifice that went into it that a lot of people don't know. And people won't understand unless they're in it. So for everybody, hats off to everybody in the league, that came in, that opted in to play, because it definitely was a trying season for everybody, for all 32 teams. And then for us, and just the way we handled it, we had a very young group, but a very mature group when it came to how they handled COVID and the restrictions and, the guidelines and how we had to move about in order for the season to be a success. Coach BA stayed on us about it. We talked about it every single morning. Don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that, we had a couple scares, but we hopped on it and acted in such a timely manner. It never affected us like it affected other teams. So I think we handled it well. We got to that end result, which is, always winning the Super Bowl. So, it was a success.
He's running back Kenjon Barner here on the Brian Noe Show. Was it any different just dealing with COVID leading up to the Super Bowl, or did you kind of keep it the way it was during the season?
It was a little bit different. We were testing twice a day rather than once a day. So first thing in the morning and last thing when you leave the building, you're testing. Just interaction time was a little bit different. But, as far as our schedule and how we operated, we moved the same way. We were I believe one of the best teams in the league when it came to handling COVID. And as far as if there was a positive test, how we handled it, we didn't really have any guys miss any major games. Besides D. White, but guys stepped up in his place, and that's all going out there without D. White. You don't want that. That's the best linebacker in the game. So not having him, but we had guys step up. But we were great as a team in how we handled it, and we knew what we were playing for. And when you have a group of guys collectively going towards one common goal, it's a lot easier to keep things going smoothly.
Now, you've played for both Bruce Arians and Bill Belichick. What would you say are the similarities between those guys, and what are the differences?
I think they're completely different. Completely different. Both two very real individuals, but have completely different approaches of how they get things done and how they bring the best out of players. BA is a special coach, and he'll always have a special place in my heart because of who he was to me this season. Bill will always. They're two of the realest guys and coaches that I've been around in my entire career, and I've been around some great coaches. But just as men and who they were and what they stood for, was just something different. And when you have a coach like BA and a coach like Bill, regardless of what their approach is, guys will run through a brick wall for you. And for BA, that's exactly what he was. He had a group of guys, because of who he was to us, not only as players, but as men, we would do anything for him, and even the rest of the coaching staff. It started from the top and worked its way all the way down. It just was a great organization, a great coaching staff, and a great group to be a part of.
And also the Tom Brady effect. You've been there on two different franchises. Yeah.
6 rings. Never mind. I'm sorry. Misspoke. 7 rings.
That's right.
The greatest athlete of all time. You cannot debate it.
But for Tampa to go from 7-9 to winning a Super Bowl, like really,
absolutely. But okay, look,
you're there on the inside. What is it about Tom Brady that puts a franchise in a position to do that?
When Tom Brady comes to you, let me say this correctly. When the organization of Tom Brady comes to you, because Tom Brady is an organization in himself. He has a pedigree, he has a standard, and there's an expectation. So when Tom Brady comes to you, the expectations of everybody else around him immediately raises because they know who you're getting. You're getting the GOAT. You're getting Tom Brady. You're getting wins. You're going to win, and it's proven. And a lot of people talked about, whether it was Bill or whether it was Tom. I think collectively they work well together. But when you get Tom Brady, your level of excitement goes up because you got a winner in the building. You got somebody that knows the game, knows the business of the game, who knows how to win, and that you know can lead you to wins, who's proven, doesn't matter what the situation or the circumstance is, he's going to find a way to win a game. I don't know how many comeback victories this man has in his career. Obviously, we've seen the greatest comeback of all time in the Super Bowl, period, I think, in all the sports. In that Super Bowl, I'm going to keep the name out of it because I got a whole lot of love for that city, and I know that still hurt. But that's just facts. We've seen it. We've seen it. He's proven it to us time and time again. Then his effect on players, his knowledge of the game, how he helps you grow as a player, just everything elevates when you're getting Tom Brady. As great as Tom is, Tom deserves all the credit in the world. This team would not be what this team was had it not been for that defense. Tom is Tom. Everybody knows that. He's the GOAT. We all know it. But this team would not have been what this team was without them guys on the other side of the ball playing the way that they did. Them guys played lights out all year. They were the strength of our team all year. All year. Offensively, obviously, we know what we had on offense. We had great players that made big plays. But on a consistent level, that defense, it goes right with that saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships. And that defense won us that championship.
I'm curious where we all know Mahomes is tremendous, but he had both of his starting offensive tackles out. And you still had a lot of people picking the Chiefs to win. Did Shaq Barrett, JPP, did the defense in general take that personally at all?
This game was personal anyway, just because of what took place earlier in the season. We were embarrassed as a team. I wasn't out there playing that game, but even sitting there, watching it. We know what we had in our locker room, and we know that what we put on display, that wasn't who we were. Now, obviously, in the second half, it was a completely different game, a completely different team. We bit down. We did what we had to do. Ended up losing by 3, but it was still embarrassing to perform the way that we did. And then, to have you take it as disrespect, a guy backflipping in your end zone, all that stuff, players take that on. You know what I'm saying? As players, you look for anything, like Michael Jordan said, and I took that personal, you know what I'm saying? Right. But, as players look for anything. And don't get me wrong, they had every right to do that. They were whooping us. They had every right to celebrate how they wanted to celebrate. But, as a team and as an organization, we took it personal. And so that game was personal for everybody. We all felt the disrespect. We all know that we didn't have our best showing. And I know based on how we practiced the 2 weeks leading up to it, you could kind of tell, where our defense was going to be and what their mindset was. And obviously, anytime you lose your right and left tackle, it's hard. I tell you, you got to acknowledge that off the rip. But that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Yeah,
that ain't our fault. We don't feel bad for you. We don't feel sorry for you. It's the NFL, next man up. We still got a job to do, and that's the mindset. That was the mindset. You got to block. It didn't matter who their starting tackles could have been there, and I believe that JPP, Shaq. Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, you're good.
I believe JPP, Shaq, Sue, Vita, all them cats, I think they all would have still played the same way because their mentality was just different. When your mind is fixated on something and you've had fuel added to the fire and you've had time to let that fuel just grow, continue to heat up, the fire's gonna get bigger. And that's all that was. Everybody heard all the talk. And we just had to get the job done, and our defense did that.
He's running back Kenjon Barner joining us here on the Brian Noe Show. Antoine Winfield Jr. giving the peace sign to Tyreek Hill.
The pettiest guy of all time, and I loved every moment of it.
I did
loved
too.
Every moment.
But you're so right about Week 12. It was really just a horrible first quarter for Tampa. But
it was a horrible first half. It was a horrible first half. It was terrible.
It talked about leading up to the Super Bowl, or just understood that it was personal?
We understood. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. We talked about it going into our meetings after that game. on that Monday and Tuesday, we talked about it. Obviously, we remembered the feeling of it. You go back and obviously we watched that film of what we did and what we didn't do. And it was a lot of what we didn't do. Don't get me wrong. They played great in that first half. I take nothing away from them. But in the second half, it was a completely different game. Completely different game. I think Tyreek had 200-something yards going into half and finished the game, I think, what was it, 270, 280 or something like that? You know what I'm saying? So our guys bid down. They adjusted. They made the adjustments. And it was a completely different game. So to have that opportunity again, to know what we put out there, to know what our defense did, to know what we didn't do offensively, and to know the way our season was going, to have that opportunity again, you know, guys are ready for it.
I'm curious again. I'm fascinated by it, the difference between the Patriots and Tampa. You hear this from a lot of people on the outside, like they don't have fun there in New England. It's just business. You're there with both organizations. Yeah. How do you describe it?
I'll describe it like this. At the end of the day, the NFL is business. Every organization, the 32 different organizations within, 32 different organizations up under this NFL shield. Every organization is going to be ran differently. Bill's approach to it is, we're here to work. Are you going to have fun? Yes, I enjoyed my time there. But if you don't work hard, you're not going to like being in New England. If you are a player who's used to being able to cut corners, if you're a player who's used to, you know, having favoritism showed to them in different ways, that's not going to happen in New England. And I witnessed that firsthand. There's a standard of excellence there, and they have every right to be that way. You're going to work. You're going to grind. Practice is going to be long and hard. You're going to run when you don't want to run. You're going to condition. You're going to lift like you don't want to lift. All of that is true. I said working out, and it's a love-hate relationship. You're going because you're in season, you're playing football, that's what you want to do. No, you're going to grind. It is a grind to be a New England Patriot. There's nothing easy about it. From the meeting rooms to regardless of what player you are, what year you are, what your experience is, there's an expectation. And everybody is held to that standard. Everybody's held to that expectation. If you don't, they'll get you out of there. It's a tough place to play. It is. It's not for the faint of heart. Whereas over here in Tampa, I would say we're a very loose group. We're a very loose group, but we got somebody in BA who communicates with us differently. BA's the type of guy, he's going to tell you he's not going to sugarcoat it, and he's going to put it in terminology, if you know what I mean, that you're going to understand. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come off. It's going to come out like, I mean, when I would explain BA basically like, obviously he's your head coach, but he gonna talk to you just like you a man on the street. Like we outside these walls, outside these four walls, we just people. That's how he gonna talk to you. And you gotta respect that, and everybody does. But he has a way of getting to you. Like we played when we got ready to play Green Bay. We came in, we had a walkthrough. BA brought us up close. I hope they don't mind if I say this. I don't think they would. But anyway, but this is just explaining who BA is. So I think it's good anyway. He pulled us up in close and he told us that practice was bullshit. He said, I look around here and I see a whole lot of arrogance. You know, this is when we're getting to play Green Bay in the playoffs. Because of what we had done early in the season, when we blew Green Bay, when we blew them out at home. And he had talked about that, you know, when we played the Saints, there was a sense of arrogance. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of the Saints in general. That's just kind of but there's a sense of arrogance because you do. They beat us twice in a year, and they beat us handily twice. You know what I'm saying, with the Saints. So there's a sense about it. Oh, we got, you know, this ain't, whether you say it or not, in your mind you think we're gonna do them the same way because as a player, that's what you should think. And so when we getting ready for Green Bay, I think as players we felt it was too loose. It was kind of almost like, yeah, this ain't gonna be no different. But you have to be reminded that's still Aaron Rodgers on the other side of that ball, and you're gonna have a game on your hand. And so BA brought it to our attention, and arrogance about you. And I hope when we come back out here tomorrow, we here to work, and that arrogance is gone. He said there's a difference between being confident and arrogant. We should be confident. We're a good team. We're a great team. But don't cross that line of arrogance. So there's just two different approaches. You know, we had a whole lot of fun. We were goofy. We played around all practice and did stuff like that, but we grinded and we worked. There was, when it was, there's a time for playing, there's a time for work. And I think we operated on both sides of that line very well. But in New England, there's a standard. And you're going to live up to that standard, or they're going to get you up out of there, and that's the bottom line. And if you like to work hard and you can, you'll enjoy New England.
I hear you, man. It's a great story with BA. I'm curious, with the Kobe shirt that you're wearing, what did Kobe mean to you as an athlete, as a dude?
Oh, man, you're going to take me back to a place. My first memories of the Lakers were way back before Kobe had got there, but they had Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Eldon Campbell. They had all these different guys. My favorite player at the time was Eldon Campbell. People probably don't know who the hell Eldon Campbell is.
I love that you had love for Eldon Campbell. That's awesome.
I did, and I couldn't tell you why. Maybe it was just his name. I don't know. Maybe I like Campbell soup or something. I don't know. But that was my favorite player at the time, and so I was a huge basketball fan. And so when we got Kobe, I came up in those years. I came up with Kobe. From watching him shoot them air balls. You know what I'm saying? To coming back the next season strong as ever, making an All-Star game in '98, all that. So I lived through that, and I was attached to Kobe in such a way. It's crazy how much an athlete can have an effect on you without you ever meeting that person. I had never met Kobe up until I think that was my sophomore year in college. I finally got the chance to meet him. But I was just when I was in junior high school and I would want to fight guys behind Kobe. It was almost like that was my brother. That was my family. Somebody said, even my friends to this day, I still get an attitude. You say something bad about Kobe, I'm gonna want to fight you. That's just how much. That's how much love I had, and any of my friends could tell you that. I used to get so pissed off when people would talk about Kobe. I would have to leave conversations because I was that passionate about him. Being from LA, growing up in the Inland Empire, I seen Kobe. I seen every game. I went to a lot of games. I seen him, so I became a real fan of his. Then getting a chance to meet him, I met him 3 or 4 times, and I was able to have conversations with him, and just being able to pick his mind and being able to touch, to me, what was a god at the time growing up as a kid. Watching him do all of the different things that he did. His first game-winning shots, the dunks, the passion, the pain, his trials and tribulation that you have to, I felt all of that as if, like I said, as if he was a part of me. 24, to me, I wore 24 before Kobe was 24. It's been in my family for years. My brothers have worn it. My cousin's Andre Miller. He played in the NBA, went to Utah. His jersey number was 24. So 24 has been in our family forever. But once Kobe changed his number to 24, now 24 for me took on a different meaning. I was 24 in junior high school, college. It took on a different meaning to me, and even still to this day with my jersey numbers, I wear 38 because 3 times 8 is 24. The number 44 was given to me this year, and I hated it. I hated that number, but then I had to find a reason to like it, and I said, okay, 44, 4 plus 4 is 8. So I equated everything to Kobe.
Yeah.
Just I got so much love for that dude, and he impacted me in such a way. And you should always say to people what you feel when you have the chance to. And like I said, I got a chance to be in Kobe's presence 3 or 4 times, and I never told that man how I feel about him and what he meant to me as a child and even as a grown man, and what he created in me through watching him fight through and play through injury, overcoming trials and tribulations, being basically spit on, kicked on, thrown to the wolves and fighting and making his way back, making mistakes, learning from his mistakes, growing from his mistakes, evolving, and then ultimately father that he evolved into be. I look at Kobe, and I'm nowhere near as dedicated to my craft as Kobe is. I don't think there's a man on this planet that is. But to hear him talk about the time that he sacrificed away from his family in order to be great at what he does, I took heart to that, because I sacrificed a lot of time away from my kids and away from my family to train and, be great at what I do. And I'm not Kobe by any stretch of the imagination, but my work ethic, I have to credit that mindset a lot to him, because I learned from him, okay, if I am going to sacrifice this time, I really got to work. I really got to grind. I really got to be all that I can be in order to make this time that I'm sacrificing away from my family, away from my kids, to make it all be for something, it all be for nothing. You know, if I want to do it, I don't want to be half-stepping. I want to be at my best every chance that I get. And so that man meant everything to me. I was heartbroken. I probably went on a 4-day hiatus where I didn't talk to anybody, you know, when he passed. Crying and I probably spent about 3 days in L.A. going to see different murals, spending a lot of time nights walking by the Staples Center. Yeah, he meant a lot to me, man. I got a lot of I love Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah.
Like I said, you should always, regardless of who they are and what they are, if you feel something about a person, you should always let them know when you have the opportunity, because you never know when you'll never have another opportunity. I'll never be able to express to him the love and admiration that I had for him while he was living.
Amen to that. No, it's great advice. There's no doubt. But hey, Kenyon, appreciate the time today, man. Love the stories.
No doubt, man.
Congratulations, 3 out of 4.
Appreciate it.
What a run for you on Super Bowls. That's awesome, man. But really, always appreciate you popping on the show.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Thank you. Shout out to the whole Pacific Northwest. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Let's go Blazers. Dame time. Let's get it done. Melo, I love you. I can't root for y'all when y'all play the Lakers, but I love y'all. Let's get it done, baby.
It's understood, man. We get it. No doubt. But, hey, enjoy the off season and enjoy the day, man. We'll catch you down the road.
Will do. Go Ducks, baby.
There it is. There he is, Kenjon Barner, former Ducks running back and a Super Bowl champ for the 3rd time now with Tampa.